of a review play, more so than a normal Let's Play, and this is called Choas Reborn. It is a game that's currently on early access on Steam, and I was pointed at it basically because obviously I play a lot of turn-based tactical games. So, this is more of a review thing because I've played it for a little bit. I've played 8 games. I understood the game after the second game, and my win-loss is obviously pretty poor at the moment. So first of all, I'll just get a game going and then kind of do the review bit from there. There is a lot of things. There is multiplayer is the only thing that's really available at the moment. There is a matchmaker, and we're just going to go with 2 players on a live game and survive. I haven't figured out what that one is, but you can have a grand total of different player modes. So you can have 1v1, 1v1 move on, and a free-for-all of 4 players, and of course a 2v2 game. Asynchronous means you can just take a turn, and your opponent then takes a turn whenever is convenient for him, her. And live means, well, it's live. We're against Kaijan. As you can see, the matchmaking is actually fairly quick, at least for me. Unlike some things, you do have a chat log. This is me, this is my person here, this is their person there. I currently have the Staff of Neutrality, I believe. So, as a turn-based game, yeah, he cast a dwarf and summoned a dwarf. So, this, where it is a turn-based strategy game, obviously you take your turns and goes. And I'll kind of explain as soon as it gets around to my turn. So I'm going to go on a bit offensive at that dwarf. So what we can do, each turn, every character on the board can move and attack. Your wizard can move by 2, and stats. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move him up towards the nice glowy thing. The glowing thing is a pickup for mana, which I'll get to in a minute. And the other thing a wizard can do, you have these cards along your bottom here. You can play 1 card per turn, and different things do different things. In the cases, he summoned a dwarf, so we are also going to summon ourselves up a nice little dwarfy burn for us. You have a choice between real and illusion, and I'll get to those 2 in a moment. Everything in this game is on the RNG, so I have a 93% chance of summoning the dwarf. There we go, we have a dwarf. Now he obviously has summoning sickness till the end of the turn, and you can only use 1 card per turn. However, you can burn them to generate mana, which is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to get rid of the Manticore. Okay, we have a giant instead. We have 10 mana. I'll show you what those mean in a moment. You can only play 1 card per turn, however you will always have 7 cards. Yes, 7 cards. 8 cards. Close enough. You have a limited amount of deck. And so he tried to cast Disbelieve on my dwarf, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the hell up. And then, do I want to summon the spider? I could summon the spider. Or I could summon the eagle. Let's summon the eagle, because eagles are fun. Let's summon the eagle. And the eagle is very likely to be able to get cast. 80%, however, at this point I'd still have a bit more. Now you can use mana to be able to increase your chances of casting. So I've now put it to spending my 10 mana to allow cast real. There we go, and we now have an eagle. The Disbelieve spell that he used the previous turn is a spell that you're allowed to check whether a monster is an illusion monster. If you cast Disbelieve on an illusion monster, then they are immediately nullified. However, if you cast them on a real, the spell stutters. Obviously. But it's a good way of checking to see whether the creature that's been cast is a real creature or not. Okay, he's got the Mana Sprite. The Mana Sprite gives you a ton of mana, so he's in a fairly good position right about now. How does he summon up? He summons up a dwarf. Okay. Now, an important point is that you cannot move while attached to a while next door to a thing. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to now summon an elephant And because I have no mana, I'm going to illusion cast it. Which, I know it's an illusion, he doesn't yet. It's always possible. Now, everyone can move and attack, and to attack a dwarf, I have a 14% chance to hit him. Everything in this is one shot, one kill, so let's do that. And then, let's get on the elephant. Next, my dwarf will attack the dwarf and kill the dwarf. And now he's going to move up a bit, and the eagle is now is engaged to an enemy, so he can't actually move away, so he's just going to attack the enemy mage, and didn't kill him. Everything in this is one shot, one kill, which, as I'm sure you can see from the amount of RNG, is occasionally a bit of a ball ache. The point about mounts is that when your wizard is on a mount, he is protected. So that if my elephant gets hit, and that's it. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to show a attack spell, I think, because I would quite like to be able to ditch. I'm in a very good place because the wizard can't run away. And I'm just going to use this chaos spell on the dwarf. I'm going to use my mana to power it up to increase my. It's not really worth actually it. So we're going to cast the spell. Spells work just as much as you can imagine. There you go. So that was Vengeance, which is a chaos spell. I'll get to those in a minute. Now we're just going to get on with the murder. Attack from range, throw hammer, and the elephant is going to start moving around, I think. And that is it. I might as well lift the dwarf up. No, I'm happy now, he might as well stay there. It should also be pointed out that when illusion creatures are targeted by a spell, they are automatically destroyed. So the reason you use Disbelief is to, well, magic sword, which now increases his wizard's attack, which makes him more likely to be able to kill things. As you can see, I can click on him and I can see his percentages to be able to kill my things. Okay, so what we're going to do now, I think, is we're going to get involved and murder me. See if I can murder me a wizard. I didn't succeed. Now it's my wizard's turn. So if you have the little symbol to actually select your wizard. He's having server problems. Oh, I think his magical sword disappeared. Yeah, the dwarf breaks stuff, doesn't he? Right, let's drop the dwarf in. I might as well give it 1 mana to make sure it's real. Now the thing about this lore chaos bar at the top, it gets more easy for you to cast lore or chaos spells based upon where the bar is. So if the bar is massively in the lore side, you're much more likely to be able to summon more powerful lore creatures. If it's all the way in the chaos side, then you're more likely to be able to summon chaos creatures, but equally it won't be able to summon creatures of the other side very easily. So as this progresses into the lore, the skeleton and the goblin are going to be able to get summoned. And there we go. The elephant immediately got destroyed because it was an illusion. Okay, the fact he ran away was actually fairly useful for me there. So let's move my dwarfy up and attack. And finally, so I've got a 71% chance of hitting him. And done. Yeah, they kind of leave quite cheaply. Okay, I wasn't expecting that entirely to work. And then you're going to have a little chat with your opponent immediately after the game's finished. And then you leave game and you can have an immediate replay. You can see the events of the turn, basically in a quick version. Which is always quite useful if you just want to see what happened. And so we're going to leave. So there we go. That's the game working. Now I have to say, overall, for a early access title, the game itself is very polished. Actually, as you can see, was nothing wrong in there. They have a bunch of stuff that, admittedly, they haven't entirely implemented yet. But that's like equipment and being able to make equipment, being able to select your equipment, being able to select your cards. But all the rest of it, and the game itself is working, and is obviously quite solid. Now, I have one massive gripe with the game, and there's only one reason why I won't be playing the game in long term. I don't have eagles, which means I can't show you why I won't like this game in long term, but I have overall figured out a way to basically win almost every time. And as I'm sure I was even doing it without even realising it in the previous game, is that you just throw creatures down on top of your opponent because there's nothing he can do about it. Now, because everything is one shot, one kill, that also includes your mage. The number of times I've won games or lost games just by getting hit by an eagle on turn 2 on a 20% hit chance is ridiculous. That last game we had was actually a fairly long game, even if the fact it was his UI was locking up. So if he summons an eagle here, eagles are like the bane of this game. Eagles just murder everything. So this time round I have the Staff of Chaos, which gives you a different set of cards. Now this leads me to another point about RNG, is that, like there, it can totally screw you over. I mean, really screw you over. So let's put these trees down in a multitude of places. Trees can go down, well, just about anywhere I want them to, really. Block stuff in. Yep, they've got a 70% chance of doing that, so let's try that. Now he's completely screwed. The trees can't move, but they can attack each turn. And I have a unicorn, so I'll be playing that next turn too, under an illusion. Now, that dwarf would have been 95% to be able to summon, and it didn't. The problem is this track 2 has too much RNG. You can't edit your deck for a start. The staff you get is random. The things you get in the deck are random. So even if you have the Chaos Staff, you don't know what's in it. You don't know what it is you're going to get that game. Which, while in a way that's good because it prevents... It basically just kind of prevents things from becoming a bit stagnant, from having a meta happen. It's more just luck of RNG, more so than anything else. The best way of failing to win is literally just pummel them, like that. There was no skill, that was turn 3. Admittedly, you know, these games are obviously meant to be quick, but they should be able to go on for a lot longer. And that is the big gripe about the game. I mean, I've got new stuff. Yay! I'll be assuming that'll be the lore stuff. I have no problem with RNG. I have no problem with chance to hit. My problem is that a tree can end the game immediately. Any creature is capable of ending the game immediately. Any creature is capable of killing any creature. Again, chance to hit I'm perfectly happy with, but I would... There may be people, again, that will really kind of like this, but in terms of my review, the game itself for an early access title is very polished. I mean, for launching on early access, well done. It's actually in a very good place to be able to do it. And the game is polished, you've established your rules, the core game is there, the core game is present, the core game is good. But in terms of long haul, that game wasn't a satisfying win. Even if you kept the chance to hit and gave all of your minions, creatures, wizards a health bar, so you had a higher chance to hit things but it took out health, you could kind of have a bit more of a long-term tactical game. Now there is an enforced limit of 20 turns, so you can argue that this is really quick, but there's just something that doesn't ring right about it. If you're able to pick your staff, if you make the staff cosmetic and be able to pick your deck, that would be wonderful. If you make it at least so you can pick your staff, so if you like the lore creatures or whatever, or if you like a spell slinging deck or that kind of thing, it would be quite nice if you could be able to pick a lot more and be able to have a bit more tactical advantage. The only advantage of having all of this RNG is basically that there isn't a meta. There can't be a meta, which, from playing lots of Hearthstone and from certainly where Arena's even gone at the minute, there is a meta. And I hate metas. I absolutely despise them. So that's kind of like my review. That's my Let's Play review. It's got some good things going on for it, and I will be keeping my eye on it, but I can't see myself becoming that invested, because those one loss, they have nothing to do, on my game record 1 loss, they have nothing to do with really a tactical skill level. 2 of them I just got basically screwed by a random spell from a level 7, which is the top level. One was a blob which prevented me from moving and then killed me. It was an acidic blob. It had a low chance to kill me every turn, but that meant I couldn't move out of it. And so that was ridiculous. Or when suddenly all my creatures die. So it seems a bit BS, if I'm honest. Just the RNG-ness. There's too much RNG, I'd say. Yeah, if you change it so you can definitely summon creatures rather than your creatures being it kind of seems like you kind of had the idea. It kind of seems like the idea for illusion was there before the rest of the game, if that makes sense. Or it could have come afterwards. But admittedly, if you got rid of the chance to be able to cast spells, to be able to summon the minions, then you would. It's a bit of a tricky one, because then you would start taking the game apart. It would just become another kind of board game, and you'd lose the quick play. But there we go. Sorry about that. That's my kind of just little bit of a rant, kind of a little bit of review rant. That's how I feel about the game. This is Choas Reborn, and this is available on Steam Early Access. It is £10 earthly pounds. If you think I'm wrong, then please have a look and have a play, and well, let me know. Thank you all very much for watching this, and I'll see you again next time. Bye! If you enjoyed the video, if you would like to see the next episode directly, then it is immediately below me now. If you would like to have a look at the channel and see what else I have, then it's there. If you really enjoy this and would like to see more, then please hit that subscribe button. Also, please, if you like the video, hit the like button. It definitely helps out. In the bottom corner, you will see the Twitter logo, which has my Twitter on it, @FictionalAroma. Please follow me on Twitter and send me Twitter reviews. Otherwise, it's fictionalaroma@gmail.com. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!